Hello and welcome to the long view with me, Jon Jordan. Today we are doing a first time user experience, so playing a game for the very first time from the download, from the kind of a first load screen onwards. So you can see Game of Thrones Conquest, so quite a high profile game. This is from Warner Brothers, been currently in soft launch in 8 countries. I got this from the Swedish App Store. Also available in the Australian App Store and a few places in Asia. Been in soft launch now since the end of June. So let's take a stroll through, see what it's made of. Okay, so obviously based on the Game of Thrones series, there's been a few Game of Thrones mobile games, PC games before. I have to admit I'm not a watcher of Game of Thrones, but I have kind of quite enjoyed some of the games, even though I don't really know, I don't have the great affinity with any of the characters, but obviously it's a very deep kind of a alliance-based kind of war type game, and I think that kind of plays out very well for certain types of games anyway. So here we go. Clearly this is the, I know as much to know that at least they're using the map of Game of Thrones, but now we've gone into a kind of more generic kind of situation where we're going to place our keep. So as we can see, kind of straight away, this is very much in the what we might call kind of 4X kind of genre. So I prefer to call it a game of war. So MZ Machine Zone being the most successful player in this market with Game of War and Mobile Strike. And most recently, it's a Final Fantasy 15 game. There's kind of a lot of other people who make these type of games. So Polarium, Israeli developer, make a lot of these games, and some Chinese companies have done quite well. EX Wireless in particular. So a lot of competition. I guess they're hoping, Warner's is hoping the license will gain it at least downloads. So let's see what we're going to do. I'm going to rebuild the infrastructure. So this type of the tutorial for these type of games is generally quite tappy and just tapping where you're told to, because these kind of games are not really about gameplay, they're all about metagame and kind of menu driven decision making. So we're going to build a farm. Farms produce food, yeah, okay. So because we're in the early stages, this would normally take, well, it's going to take 10 seconds, but probably for the first few they'll be just do it for free to get us. Obviously with these type of games, this tutorial takes normally 10-15 minutes. They want us to feel like we're making progress. Okay, so we got a reward for building a farm. Okay, start training troops. It's interesting, we didn't have to build a barracks, which in some games you have to do. So it's speeding things up a little bit there. Training. Okay, so we're going to leave those guys going. Not going to get that one for free. Here's our harvest. Okay, so it's building up. Food alone cannot build a city, no. So we're going to have food and wood as our primary resources to begin with, so I have a sawmill. I have to say at the moment graphically it's not knocking my socks off, this game. It's quite kind of in the style you'd expect, but not really anything super duper. These games tend not to rely on amazing graphics, but if you look at the background here, this doesn't look very high res to me. I'm playing on iPad Pro, so obviously a bigger screen than you would normally play on. At least in terms of physical size, if not necessarily resolution, compared to iPhone 8, I'm sure. Oh, okay, Jon Snow, I know him. He's a nasty bit of work, isn't he? They're all nasty bits of work. So I gather my troops, get my reward. Are we going to have a fight then? That'd be interesting if we had a fight. Here he is. Oh no, so he's not going to attack me. He's going to show my inexperience of Game of Thrones. Take me to the war and we're going to prepare a battle. That sounds like fun, doesn't it? Okay. So there's an enemy. This pawn is a pawn, the White Walker, and hits minions. So in these type of 4X games, you have this kind of base building element which is about really a lot of time-based building and waiting for things to upgrade. And then you have this kind of a world map where you go out and attack other bases and other kind of NPCs, non-playable characters. So this is obviously that kind of thing. It was interesting, the battles normally are not shown in any graphical detail, so it'll be interesting to see what these guys do. So we're going to attack a level 1 White Walker. You can see our footmen, we've got 110 footmen, so that they're level 1, they're pretty basic. I'm sure we'll win, so there we go. Yeah, so no great gameplay here at all, we're just seeing a kind of generic symbol doing a battle there. So this is very much in the realm of Game of War. A slain enemy, get my reward, hurrah! So, I've leveled up, and these are the things I can now do. Making banners, that's kind of important, isn't it? Rename my token, teleport token. Okay, so is that it? No, banner unlocked, okay. Do I want to build your house banner right now? Go on then. So, now interestingly here, in other Game of Thrones games, you've had very basic abilities that you've been able to choose for your banner, but anything more complex you've had to pay for. So it'll be interesting to see how we're going to approach this one. Honestly, I'm really not very bothered about these kind of things. Let's choose something. Let's have a crocodile. Yeah, why not? A pink crocodile. Is that going to inspire fear? Background. A green crocodile on a flaming doesn't really fit, does it? Maybe let's not worry about it too much. There we go. Primary colour, which would be the top one, that white. Secondary one, let's have it blue if we're being traditional. There we go. Maybe not blue. Lighter blue. I can't see me. Crocodile. Okay, so there we go. Made my banner. Not too different about that. Now we can see there's little chats opened up at the bottom there. So Stargarian is saying, yeah, can I have it? There we go. Okay, we're not going to look at that, the text, the world text too much, because we know what's going to come in that lot. Okay, stables. So we can see here, again, this is very typical from this kind of game. There's certain things I need to have done before I can unlock new buildings or level them up. So we're seeing ticks here. In this case, I needed a very low level, needed keep level 1, a farm level 1, and some resources. Going to build it, it's going to take just under 3 minutes. Normally if things take less than 5 minutes you get them for free in this kind of tutorial setting. Build a training yard. This is probably gonna get me into a guild, I imagine. Oh, it's gone. Because I'm building something. So I don't know what happened to that bit. So these games are very, very reliant in their long-term retention and monetization on people getting into alliances, and then really when you get into alliances, that's when you start to level up quite quickly, at least in the early stages, because people can gift you stuff, and when people spend money in your alliance, you also get resources. So that's really how these games monetize. So this is what we should be looking for. It's going to try and get us into a alliance or a guild pretty quickly. So anyway, I'm just upgrading my headquarters. So a few little things on it. So oh, it can do it. It's just done it. So now I've got a whole bunch of other things. I can now do a war camp, more farms. So you see immediately, as soon as I do something, as soon as I level something up, there's immediately this kind of do this next. So I'm training a squire. We'll have a look at these ones. So these are items. So again, typically in these games, to speed things up, you don't use currency directly. You use speed up items. So here, a 5-minute speed up. So anything that doesn't take time to do, I can speed it up by 5 minutes. That's a speed up for anything. That's a construction speed up. That's a march recall. I can order a marching army to return to my keep, and I can. This is food. So if I use this, I get more food. Probably. I don't need them. What else we've got here? Messages, notices. There's some release notes from. Obviously, this is an early version of the game, so the game's in soft launch. I'm not sure when it's coming out. So here we are. It's just saying thank you for downloading the game. What's this big thing here? Okay, Liege Finder. So instead of joining alliances, we're joining a liege, and we can see we're going to be rewarded by 200 gold, which is the hard currency. So this was this kind of prompt that came up before. You can see this game's in soft launch, so there's not a whole bunch of. Doesn't seem to be very highly populated. There seems to be some with 0 on. I don't know how you can have a lead with 0 on. I don't really know. Yeah, I'm going to leave that for the time being. So I've trained my squire, I imagine. Good. I'm going to get my reward. Upgrade, so I'm going now into the sawmill. Is that going to be free? Yes, it is. Probably need to upgrade my farm next as well. Oh, don't want to do that actually. Stop with the farm. Yeah, so that was 10 not 2. So you can just see it keeps you very active. It keeps you just feeling like you're making progress. Every time you do anything, you get a reward. Clearly, that stops after a while. Going to build a war camp. No idea what a war camp does, but I'm going to build one. And do it for free, jolly good. I mean, it actually becomes a little bit repetitive, getting all these rewards. Kill a level 1 creature. So I'm going to go out into the world. So the world's changed a little bit now. Don't quite know why that is. At least I can see who I am here with my crocodile banner. And I've got to kill a level 1 creature. I can't actually find any level 1 creatures. Oh, there's a level 1 creature. So, Coyote, I'm going to attack him. I can use all my troops. Should have done more squire, shouldn't I? Oh, so again, we're seeing this kind of like a token going off and doing that. I can just leave that happening because these things are going to clearly obviously take time. Oh, there's a boat with my sail on, that's nice. Okay, what we've got up here? I've got an idle builder, so I can only build one thing at a time. I can add a builder, that will cost money. Looks like I've got a battle report. What's happened here? I've leveled up. So my battle report should be here. Here we go. Hunting. So here's my. It tells me about the battle. I gained some experience. I gained all this. Is kind of what you see. I didn't lose any infantry or any cavalry. But obviously, didn't expect to do that. And I get my reward for killing my level 1 creature. I'm going to upgrade my. So again, we're just going through the. How long we've been going for? 12 minutes. Okay, so it's probably getting to the level of. Doing enough of this. What's this one? Troop speed up. So I'm going to stop doing things now. Let's have a quick look at these ones. No active marches. I don't know what that's showing with a one on there. What's this one? That's idle, barracks, and stable. Okay. So the final thing I think I will do, if the menu comes back, is see if I can. So this is my profile. I wonder if I can change my name. Usually you can. New name, max 15 characters. Rename. I have 1 token to do this. So how do I actually do it? Is it doing it? Oh, I still do it. So here am I. Okay, so rename myself. There we go. And now if I want to rename myself, I have to spend hard currency to do that. Change my allegiance tag. My allegiance tag. This tag will show when you are the leader of an alliance. But I'm never going to be one of those. Okay. So there we go. I think in terms of kind of the first time user experience, pretty nice flow. I thought it kind of got into it quite quickly. There wasn't any complicated downloads. I mean, there shouldn't be in this type of game. It's graphically quite light. There's nothing complicated going on. They didn't have any crazy videos or anything like that, which you might expect, maybe because this is in soft launch, they haven't put that in yet. But you want to get into these games quite quickly, I think. Interestingly, there's been no push notification prompt yet. So normally, sometimes some games, the first thing you see is a push notification prompt, so they can kind of spam you with messages to come back to the game. Push notifications, I think, are good, but you need to put it in the right place. So these guys have obviously, I imagine, as I keep playing the game a bit further on, I might get that push notification prompt. So that's good. I haven't seen it yet. Loading times are good. User interface, I think, is fairly straightforward, although this kind of genre is quite well worked out. Graphics, not great, I don't think. But in general, as a first-time user experience, which is kind of what we're judging here, this is a pretty smooth one. There's not been any problems. I've got straight into the game. I've done my almost 15 minutes, and it's all been quite nice. And it's kind of used the IP in a logical way, sensible. It's not overplayed it, So that's good. So well done to Turbine, the developer, owned by Warner Brothers, the publisher. So as we say, game's in soft launch. Not sure when it's coming out. So I guess keep your eyes peeled. I guess. The long view is all about free-to-play mobile games, so if you subscribe to our channel, you'll get more videos about Game of Thrones Conquest, no doubt. I'll be playing it the next couple of weeks and doing videos about things I think are interesting. And don't forget, also you can follow us on Twitter at The Longview, with a double O in long. And also we have a Patreon now, so you can go and support us if you want to and get a bit more, a few more exclusive videos for the small fee of $1 a month. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope to see you again soon.
Hello, and thanks for watching to the very end of the video. If you have any comments, please put them in the comments box. We love to read your comments. And if you haven't subscribed already, the subscribe button is below. And don't forget to check out some of our other videos. There's 2 really good examples on the screen right now.